Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island recap. Have the team finally discovered the entrance to the money pit? On the Curse of Oak Island this week, have the team finally discovered the entrance to the legendary money pit? It certainly looks like a serious possibility. The episode saw the treasure hunting team, led by Rick and Marty Lagina, continue their quest to uncover a man-made connection between the pit and Smith's Cove. 1 week ago, wooden beams dating back to 1735 to 1784 were found in the cove at a depth of more than 50 feet. The team took this as possible evidence that they may have hit a main flood tunnel. Based on the evidence, this week they continue to drill exploratory boreholes just above the beach. In the target zone, a core sample near the cave and pit reveals sand which could be evidence of a manifestation of a bygone tunnel, according to geologist Terry Matheson. The discovery is deemed important enough to call Marty, and when he arrives at the site he exclaims in anticipation, "It's a beautiful day on Oak Island." As Marty examines the spoils, Rick can't help but note the irony is there is no wood in the sample. Nonetheless, he adds that this may be the one thing, the clue that could solve the 200 years plus Oak Island mystery once and for all. Next, they take a sample 5 feet to the west at a depth of 108 feet. The core sample contains some sand but nothing that would point to anything resembling a tunnel, according to Terry, who describes the spoils as unremarkable. The team is disappointed and they decide to ditch the current random drilling operation in favor of seismic scanning in the hopes of finding more promising targets. Later, the team from Seismic Scanning Team from Eagle, Canada, arrived to map underground anomalies in a bid to finally locate the elusive money pit. Their ambitious goal involves setting off a whopping 18,000 dynamite charges which will create sound waves that can be measured as they travel through the earth. Based on the sound wave data, a master map of tunnels and voids as deep as 300 feet down will be created. Meanwhile, the team find time to meet with naval historian and author Chip Reed in the war room, where he sheds new light on the possible purpose of the mysterious man-made structures at Smith's Cove. He shows the team an old map of Oak Island, and on it they recognize the mysterious L-shaped structure unearthed last year. Chip believes that the structure could be evidence of a military fortification known as a water battery, and be connected to what is known as the Louisbourg treasure that is associated with Nova Scotia. He tells the team that if this is the case, they may actually be looking for some kind of a French treasure, based on his research. In response, Marty asks the team's historians to investigate any possible lead based on Chip's assertion. Elsewhere, members of the team head out to Lot 27, once owned by Daniel McGinnis. Evidence left behind suggests that McGinnis himself searched on the lot for treasure tunnels leading to the legendary treasure vault. 3 weeks ago, ancient rock drilling tools called swages, as much as 600 years old, were found on nearby Lot 21, also owned by McGinnis. Metal detecting expert Gary Draken finds a promising area for Jack Begley to dig, and they find what Gary terms an iron chisel. "Look at that," he says, "definitely looks old." He surmises that the chisel could have been used for tunneling, perhaps in tandem with the swages, and estimates it could date back to the 1400s. In response, the team decide to further investigate what could be beneath Lot 21, using ground-penetrating radar. When the ground-penetrating experts arrive on site, they find an anomaly 4 feet down. Could this be a void or a tunnel? The anomaly is 4 feet wide, and Craig Tester remarks that there are a couple of known wells in the area, although he concedes that finding this anomaly is promising. Lastly, the team gather at the southern shore of the island with the goal of finding a wooden sluiceway that connects to Shaft 9. Thus indicating the location of the money pit. Dan Hensky, whom Rick declares is the sage, the royalty of Oak Island now, has recommended this operation based on his knowledge of the island. Marty operates the heavy equipment machine and soon finds a buried pipe. He continues to dig until the team see water pouring into the dug-out earth through a hole. Examining the mud, they find wood and clay, and determine that they have found the 159-year-old sluice referenced by Dan Henske. Marty yells, "Holy smokes," saying this could be one of the most important discoveries of the year. Have the team finally made a major breakthrough, uncovering a searcher shaft which will lead them to the centuries-old vault? Be sure to tune in next week to find out. The Curse of Oak Island, a captivating saga that has enthralled treasure hunters and history buffs alike, has reached a tantalizing juncture. In the latest episode, the Lagina brothers and their dedicated team might have finally discovered the elusive entrance to the Money Pit, a fabled treasure trove that has evaded seekers for over 2 centuries. As dawn broke over Oak Island, the team convened with a palpable sense of anticipation. Air was thick with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Rick and Marty Lagina, the charismatic leaders of this long-standing quest, stood side by side, their eyes scanning the ground that had become almost sacred in its mystery. For years, the island had surrendered only fragments of its secrets, coconut fibers, ancient coins, and enigmatic artifacts. But the heart of the mystery, the legendary Money Pit, remained hidden. This episode began with a glimmer of hope. The team's geologist, Dr. Ian Spooner, had analyzed recent borehole data and identified a promising anomaly. His findings suggested a large man-made void at a depth consistent with historical accounts of the Money Pit. Armed with this new information, the team decided to focus their efforts on this specific area, designated as Borehole X16. As the massive drilling rig roared to life, the atmosphere on the island grew electric. Every rotation of the drill bit brought them closer to potentially unraveling a mystery that had baffled generations. The process was painstakingly slow, each foot of progress meticulously documented and analyzed. The crew, seasoned by countless hours of excavation, worked with a precision born of both expertise and desperation. Halfway through the day, the drill hit something unusual. The sudden change in resistance suggested they had breached a cavity. Cameras and sensors were immediately deployed into the borehole, sending live images back to the surface. What they saw sent a ripple of excitement through the team, the unmistakable outline of wooden timbers arranged in a manner that could only be man-made. The realization that they might be staring at the remnants of the original Money Pit structure was both exhilarating and daunting. The discovery prompted Rick to recall the historical accounts of the original finders, young men who, in 1795, stumbled upon a mysterious depression in the ground and unearthed a series of wooden platforms at regular intervals. Could it be that the team was now gazing upon those very same timbers, untouched for centuries? The connection to the past felt almost tangible, as if the island itself was finally ready to divulge its secrets. While the drill was carefully extracted, the team gathered for a strategy session. Marty, always the pragmatist, emphasized the need for caution. They had encountered false leads before, and it was crucial to verify their findings thoroughly. Craig Tester, the team's engineer, proposed a non-invasive scanning technique to map the subterranean structure before any further drilling. The plan was quickly approved, and the necessary equipment was rushed to the site. The next few hours were a blur of activity. High-resolution ground-penetrating radar, GPR scans revealed an intricate network of tunnels and chambers, confirming the presence of a large, previously unknown underground complex. This finding aligned perfectly with long-held theories about the Money Pit's construction, suggesting a sophisticated effort to safeguard whatever lay at its core. With newfound determination, the team resumed drilling, this time with a narrower focus. The bit broke through the wooden timbers, and the subsequent core samples brought up shards of ancient pottery, fragments of parchment, and even a small gold coin, a Spanish escudo from the 16th century. The artifacts, although tantalizingly incomplete, hinted at a treasure of immense historical value. As night fell, the island was bathed in the glow of floodlights, the team undeterred by the encroaching darkness. They decided to send down a specialized camera equipped with robotic arms, capable of navigating the narrow passages of the underground structure. The images it relayed back were astonishing. A series of chests, partially obscured by silt and debris, but unmistakably present. Rick's voice broke the tense silence as he addressed the team. "We've come so far, and I believe we are on the brink of something extraordinary. Let's remember, this island has guarded its secrets fiercely. We need to proceed with respect and caution." The decision was made to halt the drilling for the night and reconvene at first light. As the team dispersed, there was a shared sense of awe and anticipation. The possibility that they had finally located the entrance to the money pit was almost surreal. Each member of the team, from the seasoned veterans to the newest recruits, felt the weight of history on their shoulders. The episode closed with a reflective moment, Rick and Marty standing at the edge of borehole X16, the soft hum of the island's nocturnal creatures around them. "If this really is the money pit," Marty mused, "we're not just finding treasure. We're rewriting history." Rick nodded, his gaze fixed on the ground. "And honoring the dreams of those who came before us." The screen faded to black, leaving viewers with bated breath, eager for the next chapter in this epic quest. The Curse of Oak Island had once again delivered a potent mix of adventure, mystery, and the enduring human spirit of discovery. Whether the team has truly found the entrance to the money pit remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the legend of Oak Island continues to captivate and inspire.